Along the way, I think around 2015, 2016, art suddenly started to become a little bit accepted in our market. When I was working in the archi firm, got a lot of requests. So every weekend and every night and every break time I have, I'll be drawing or proposing. So then I got a big mural project, which is the Fist and Furious one. That was when I was like, okay, I got a few months saving, maybe I can try to see where this goes. But I think the real challenge is people. Not to say that people are bad or difficult, it's just people are different. Yeah, because they're very, very labor intensive, it's hard for you to teach. It's good to train people to pick up your skills and develop their skills, because you probably can't do it forever.
Welcome to another episode of Feel Good, whereby we try to spread one positivity at a time. So today we have Daphne in the studio. So I'm not going to tell you what she does and whatnot. I'll let her do it. So
Okay, about me lah.
Yes, about
okay.
you.
First of all, thanks for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm Daphne, and I think you know me more on the art side, right?
Yes.
So I run Ep4 for this is the 8th year. We have been doing mainly murals, but we also do illustrations, portraits, canvas, anything you need to paint, we can paint. So we've been doing it for a while already. But in MCO 2020, we started another company which does digital marketing, so social media content for Instagram, Facebook, now TikTok as well. And most of our clients are companies mainly focusing on the property development actually. And we also have a channel called Stays and Spaces. So that one is because I travel a lot for artsy Daffy work, and we stay in all sorts of hotels, Airbnbs, cheap and decent price. So I tend to feel it's very wasted if I just stay there and go. So I started to share about the properties that I stay in.
Okay.
So lately we do, now we have a home, hotels and property developments. So we feature houses, because I love to watch Architectural Digest, Apartment Therapy, right? And I felt like, here we don't really share about our Asian kind of hotels or homes. So that is the third project that we're doing. So these are my three main focuses now.
Your passion about art is not just painting. So you pretty much like about like architecture is also form of art. So you are into that kind of art as well.
So the architecture part, interestingly, I studied marketing, right? We were in Swinburne.
Additional information, we used to
study
in the same school.
Uni, correct. So I came out doing marketing, business admin side. So one of my jobs back then was in an architecture and interior design firm. I picked up a lot of interesting things there, because naturally I like to draw and design, right? So I naturally follow the architect boss. I could have gotten banking jobs, but I chose the architecture boss because he's very interesting. Yeah, and then after working there a while, I realized I love to look at interior design and properties. So every time I'm stressed, I just scroll that. And then so that this whole part I like, but it came later. After I left the archi firm, I did artsy Daffy for a while. Then it all one thing led to another, all the dots connect. That's how I got the first the art side. Then digital marketing came because we were able to run an art company, which is very few do that, because we do a lot of social media. So some of our clients like it, then we started to get social media clients. That's how it came about. Yeah, and then since I already have all the tools, I just do YouTube.
Okay. So before we go into that, I want to know, is there, now on top of your head, is there a certain place, a certain home, a certain building that you can remember now, which you think that it's, this one, it's so interesting? Because if you ask me, I would go like, this one is the most haunted I remember, but let's go with the artsy side first.
Oh my goodness, which building, I think
top of your head, don't have to go too deep.
There's so many hotels, there are so many nice hotels, and I like Chloe Hotel.
Chloe Hotel? This is it?
KL.
KL,
it's quite popular lately, a lot of influencers go there. I think it's very, it's nice, it's nicer than a business hotel, I feel, because it's so intricate. they give 90s snacks, you know, the senza peng la, the keropok la, very old nostalgic snacks. And then a lot of the design detail is done quite well. So
is it uniquely in every room or?
The whole hotel is just artistic.
Oh, okay. So Chloe Hotel.
Yeah, K with a K.
Oh, with a K. Oh, okay. That is something that
You should stay there. It's at Bukit Bintang. Yeah.
Bukit Bintang.
Very near.
Wow, okay.
But it's not in the main road. It's at the side a little bit. You have to walk a bit at Pavilion there.
I hate to say it, but the moment you mention Bukit Bintang, I have a certain
fear of it.
No, I have a certain smell that pop up in my head.
Smell?
Yeah.
What happened there? You fell in the drain?
No, but I'll just stop there. I'll just stop there. There's just certain smell that pop up in my head.
Sounds like drinking thing.
Anything else you want to top up about yourself? No.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. We're going to go with nothing to do with your work and the patient part yet. But this is just to warm up the whole thing. If you could trade lives with any fictional character, any fictional character for a day.
I should have thought about this before. I cannot really think about it.
This is when I send question to people and people
I'm
don't.
so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you can.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. This better be good because the ooh is long. Okay.
No. Maybe someone in fashion like Anna Wintour. I think that would be quite interesting to live her life.
Anna Wintour, is that a fictional character? It's not,
sorry,
right?
fiction. Oh, no, real life character. Fictional, huh?
Fictional character.
Let me think. Like
he don't exist
imaginary person.
in reality.
Superman.
Superman. You want to be Superman?
Because I just want to fly.
You can be a bird, right? Okay, why do you want to be Superman?
Because I want to fly and not get hurt.
There's a lot of things that can fly, no? There's a lot of
But
fictional
other human
characters.
can fly without anything else.
Tinkerbell? Tinkerbell can also
small and weak.
So apart from flying, is there anything that you find cool about Superman?
I cannot get hurt.
Cannot get hurt. Okay.
I mean physically.
Yeah.
He still get heartbroken.
Yeah,
sadly.
True. See, nobody is perfect, not even Superman.
It's okay, emotions are fine. Necessary.
Let's talk about the art side first. So, how is it like in a day as an artist for your work?
A day in a life. Okay, when I just started out, you don't have a lot of. To me, I didn't have the structure after a full-time job, 8 to 5, right? When you're out on your own, every hour is your own. So in the beginning, I was a bit lost. So maybe I go to gym until 11, and then I do some proposals, and then if I got a job, then I'll propose for jobs. But if there is a day of artwork, right, I would spend like 8 hours on site to 10 hours on site, just one go, finish the job as fast as possible. You either do proposals, do social media, edit YouTube videos, or go to site.
So now, in a day, you still do all that?
Like this morning, I had to go to site first. So 8 to lunchtime, I go to site. Then after that, I have my digital marketing business to look at. So I have to go for meetings. So this is my 3rd meeting of the day. Yesterday, I had 6 meetings on top of site. So those are my days these days. So between site and meetings. So I cannot really do physical art for 8 hours anymore now. I probably go to site 2 to 3 hours, but sometimes my assistant can do most of it. So I leave her, I start this work, she does it, I finish the work. Whereas the other team does all the other marketing work.
Okay.
So more to managing now and delegating.
Painting part, don't you still have to do it?
Yeah, so drawing side and the touch-ups and maybe just answering which color goes where. But I think my assistant has been around long enough to know pretty well what to do. It's just that I need to polish it up a bit.
Wouldn't your client complain like, hey, this is not entirely painted by you, but I pay you to paint this? No?
Actually, most clients, they just want to see a nice picture and then in a certain time frame. So as long as you deliver something good, then, and plus we have drafts first. So our drafts are 90% the same. We draw almost the same, so there's not much to complain about. I think most of the skill actually comes in the proposal, which is the design.
Okay. So the earlier stage,
Yeah, before the actual drawing. Design is I think, most important part of the mural actually. A lot of people can paint, but maybe not everyone is interested or know how to design for a space.
I wish I can get somebody to go and host a wedding and people like, hey, this date I cannot do it because I already booked. Then like, hey, get somebody to go.
Yeah, because it's very, very labor intensive. It's hard for you to teach. Same in the beginning, I also struggled with that. But I think it's good to train people to pick up your skills and develop their skills because you probably can't do it forever. And then if you want to grow, having a few people like you or better so good. And as you grow, you have a brand and you have experience. So you can teach 3 people to do what 1 person do. Why not?
I shall look into that.
But if you enjoy what you do until you're 60, why not? Talking for a living is so enjoyable.
Okay, I want to say, I guess the grass is always greener on the other side.
100% true.
Yeah, people look at you like, wow, paint for living. I can, paint, 100,000. Wow,
you just have to go physio every week only, that's all.
Yeah, but people would not see that part, right? People will only see because you post on your social media whereby you paint, right? Then people are like, wow, this is such a nice artwork. But when you go and have a treatment and whatnot, you don't post it and people don't know, right?
Alright. Actually, the most glamorous looking jobs are always the most physical or labor intensive or least glamorous when you are doing it. Like you think you are painting very nicely, but actually we go to site, it's full of dust, contractors everywhere, you're covered in paint and dust. You cannot breathe properly because the air is dirty, and then you just damn dirty. It's different.
So I guess you already answered one of the question. Question is, what is your challenges lah? So these are the challenges. I mean, other than getting dirty, getting under the hot sun, getting tan, dusty, a lot of contractors are doing their work. Is there any other challenges that you face?
I think the real challenge, actually, I feel in the world of anything is people. Like, not to say that people are bad or difficult, it's just people are different. So you have to use different methods to talk to different people. And for an introvert who doesn't like to talk, you have to learn to talk to all sorts of people. So it's a challenge in that sense, but it's a personal growth challenge. So,
Okay, this is a disclaimer that I actually wanted to say. I'm actually not a people person.
Wow, but you talk so much for people.
Yeah, right. I just told you that I love talking, right? Because I remember when I was, this is so silly to say, but I still remember last time when I was younger, some singer came to town. I came from a very small town named Bau, right? So we don't always have celebrity that come to town. So I remember it was Anil. You know who was Anil, right?
I heard before, yes.
Right. Okay, Anil. Yeah. So Anil came to town. So people were actually given concert tickets to actually go to watch him perform.
Oh, give you guys.
Yeah, give, as in free. I guess some associations or somebody paid for it. But it fall on a Sunday, which is actually church day, right? So my choice is either I go to church or I go to the concert that is a lot of people.
Yeah.
Decided.
You chose to go to church.
You have a guess where I went to?
Church?
I went to church. I went to church not because I'm a religious person. I went to church is because it's empty. Because I don't want to be flocked by a lot of people.
Not just because you're not in love with Anil, that's all.
Not really, but everybody know the song back then. So I don't really enjoy surrounded by a lot of people. Then that is when people ask me like, but you host show,
you have to be around people.
You are a lot of people around you. But then again, I say, but if you look at it, usually the MC or the master of ceremony, he's standing right in front.
You don't talk to people.
Alone.
Yeah.
Where the rest of the people are sitting together, you are alone. But okay, until now, I guess I picked up the skills whereby I learn how to be comfortable with people. So I'm not, what's the term? Not introvert, not extrovert, you are ambivert.
Yeah, same. You grow into a 50-50.
Yeah.
Out of necessity.
Yeah. Tell us about how you actually get started in your craft. How do you actually, okay, this is like 8 years ago when you start your brand. So how do you actually get into that?
I always draw for since I was a kid.
Okay.
So I think somewhere along the lines my Facebook started, right? Then my brother was like, oh, you draw a lot of stuff, should post, nobody sees it. Okay, so I posted on Facebook and I had a blog. I had blogs since a long time ago. But I've started to have a blog for art, for my artwork. So I think that was the start. But it wasn't a business then. So I worked, after we graduate, we want to work in a glass office or something. But of course that didn't happen. Then eventually, along the way, I think art suddenly started to become a little bit accepted in our market.
Oh, yeah. Now you say.
Around 2015, 2016, I think 14-ish, Penang art suddenly became quite a thing. Then even Ernest Zakarevic came to Kuching. At that time, I think there was no mural artist here. So I left in 2016 because I had a lot of art commissions already. When I was working in the archi firm, I got a lot of requests. So every weekend and every night and every break time I have, I'll be drawing or proposing. So for 2-3 years, that got quite tiring, like really, really tired. I would sit at the stairs to cry because so burnt out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, until a point where I felt like, okay, I need to choose something. So then I got a big mural project, which is the Fast and Furious one. Then that was when I was like, okay, I got a few months saving, maybe I can try to see where this goes. And then I came out and then just tried, and somehow very lucky, every month I have a job, and every year it doubles. So really lucky enough to stay till now.
Okay.
That simple, just put it online.
Yeah, but people have to like it, or it has to be good, right? If you put it... Okay, this is quite subjective too, right? Because recently, I don't know about you, have you heard about this guy who actually paint like badly drawn illustration? Have you seen that? Right, so it doesn't have to be good.
Exactly, it just needs to appeal to the market you want.
Okay. It doesn't matter. So if you have an art or if you have something that you think you can sell to people, just put it online.
I think these days with the internet, actually the world, there's someone for everyone. So there's something that you do and enjoy doing and you're obsessed about, someone will like it. So if as long as people see it, you might find your niche. That's
true.
what I think about these days.
True.
But for us, for RC Daphne, we design a lot. So because of the Archi and ID influence, I feel, I start to understand space and color a bit better and learn how to present it. So when we design murals, we don't just design a pretty thing. We try to make sure it's practical, fits the brand, there's interaction, consideration towards it. So it's not just a random thing in your room, it kind of fits your furniture and whatever message you want to send. So I think that is our skill in designing murals.
Okay. So obviously we have seen few of your artwork, but what are the other artworks that we have never seen before? I mean, you have painted people's bedroom?
Oh yeah, one of my first jobs, even before I started RC Daphne, was painting in a friend's bedroom actually. She just built this huge, very beautiful house. Then she was like, Daphne, you want to paint my room? Then I'm like, I never painted on the wall before. Then she's like, it's okay, I trust you, come. Okay, then okay. I freehand the whole Marilyn Monroe, and then it took me a day, 24 hours, 2 days. Then she was like, good, and she gave me an ang pao. And like, that's probably one of my first mural.
Okay.
So very grateful to her that she trusted me so much to push me to go and try it.
Okay. Is there any very unusual places that you have painted before that we have never seen, or it's not on social media?
Not on social media. Most people allow us to post.
Okay. Even if it's on social media. Probably we have never been to that place, right? For example, somebody's basement that we do not know of. Kuching people have basement or not?
Well, we don't just paint Kuching, we paint KLs. Actually, I did have a friend client also in Singapore. So there's this girl, she's a little cute Chinese girl, and she loves Roberto Baggio.
Who? Okay.
Is it Baggio or is it? I think
Baggio is the footballer.
I think she's so in love with him. So we painted him in her living room.
Oh.
Yeah, a very cute little Chinese girl. This is like, wow.
Okay, this is actually first time. I've never heard of a Chinese girl who actually liked Baggio.
He's like cute, and she even went to Spain to find him or something. Yeah, she's so obsessed. So
how old is this girl?
I think at that time she's 20-30s or so. She's just a super fan. First time I see like, wow.
Wait, I thought Baggio died.
I don't know. Maybe long time. I don't know lah. Actually, maybe before that she go and find him.
Okay, not big of a legend, but I don't. Okay, I'm not a big fan of Baggio, so I do not know whether it's still around.
I never even heard the name before. I had
Okay. Oh, so this is in Singapore, and then you painted it in her living room.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another cool one people like to point out is Nas Daly's office.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. I guess not everyone can go in that office.
So what did you paint there?
A few hands pointing upwards to the word build something. So all the hands were different colors, meaning different people from different races can all build something. Because it's a very people kind of culture. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
But there are a lot, but there's so many, and a lot of them are quite interesting, but I cannot remember. There are hundreds of murals already by now.
Okay, wow, good for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving next one. Okay, I don't think I've already asked the other question. Okay, how do you approach the creative process? Is there a template or steps that you actually follow? Like for example, now, let's go with the Baggio just now. So the girl like, okay, Daphne, I wanted to paint a bajio in my living room. So what is your first few steps that you actually do? The creative part.
Okay, so there are a few parts to creative and putting a mural on the wall. So I think the first part is of course the design part, which is the most challenging part, which is probably where most of the process come in. The painting part later is quite straightforward, just grid and paint. The creative thinking part, it takes a few things, because if we design for a space and something to fit in, we of course take measure, take into consideration the furniture that's going to go in. Like example, if this is the wall you want to paint on it, I will definitely not paint behind the sofa, right?
Okay.
These kind of considerations, color consideration, and most importantly, what the client wants. So if they have references, that's great. Pretty much that. And then we design it, show it to them.
How long does this process usually take?
Probably a few days or a week. Depends.
Depending on whether the client is fussy or not.
Depending whether they want changes, or we didn't get their mood very well, or whatever we propose, they're not sure, maybe one, maybe don't. Then we try to get it closer to that. So it might take a week maybe.
So let's say meaning to say that if you will to get this wall painted, right? Then the sofa is here. So you paint, obviously you don't paint anything behind the sofa.
But we'll design something so that it doesn't look like it's just cut off halfway. So we'll kind of make it flow around the sofa maybe. So it's more natural.
I just wanted to ask, like, if let's say the owner decided to
move the sofa, then we think about that.
Okay. And let's say the plant is here, suddenly the plant died. Okay, although this one won't die, but let's say the one is supposed to be here then died, then how now?
Don't worry, the client also will think about that one. Next time, if like this, then how?
So these are all in your thought process as well?
Definitely, because this is a long-term thing. Mural's going to stay there for a few years. So.
Okay. I wouldn't know, so that's why I asked you.
Because they're investing quite a bit in it already. Spending so much money on it, so
true,
better make it last.
Is there something that you're supposed to put on top?
What
a silly question. Of course you do, right? If not, how long is it going to last, right?
Well, we actually use wall paint, quality ones. So as long as their wall is right, we use the same type of paint, no problem. Or better quality paint, no problem.
Okay. Oh.
It will blend in the material.
So you don't put up another protective?
Not necessary. It's like these kind of walls, you don't put another layer also.
Yeah, but there's no mural here, right?
Yeah.
It cannot be like, for example, now suddenly, let's say I have a kid here, start drawing, then I can just paint white lah. But you put up something there, then the kid go and draw. I cannot I try to draw back lah. Cannot, right?
Well, so far we do not.
Okay.
Not necessary yet. Also, because the cost will also be quite high, I think, if we put another
layer of it.
Yeah, another chemical layer that we have to specially formulate for it. Yeah.
Unless the client requested
for it. Yeah.
Okay, so I already asked about the challenges. Okay, I'm sure you have received criticism and negative feedbacks. Do not know now, but probably in the starting days. How do you handle it?
I think nobody has been mean to me. Maybe.
Wow, this is so good.
I think if you smile, you're good. But I think generally, if people talk to you, you don't take it personally, then you don't feel so bad. But if anything sounds like a bit of a criticism, just take it as a tip or something constructive. Then you don't feel so offended. You know?
So for you, that is how you take it.
That's how I deal with it. But also because you're so lighthearted, you rarely take anything as a very strong criticism.
It doesn't pull you down.
No. I think the strongest criticism is always the ones we give ourselves. I blame myself all the time, but if other people say something, I always take it as, true, let me think about it.
If let's say, for example, I do not know why the bajio now keep happening in my head. Let's say you paint, and the girl like, Daphne, the bajio is a bit bajio like that. How?
She did keep saying, here need to be a bit more shadow.
Yeah.
It's fine one. They paid us, we satisfy them lah. Then like, okay, don't worry, we fix for you. We spent a lot of hours there.
Okay. You never come that you paint, you come, you do it.
No, in that sense, I think when it comes to work, we need to put our ego down a little bit, because I mean, in the end, I mean, if you think about it, the end is that you want everybody to be happy. You're here to provide a service, so why get all pissed off about it?
What if the person who said something, it's not your client?
Then don't care lah. Doesn't matter mah.
Oh, okay.
Why do you let other people kacau you? your mood? It's like a stranger tell you, hey, your hair not nice. How you gonna do? Like, don't look lah. Turn around.
Because I guess I actually did so. It was roadshow, I think. It was roadshow, I think. Probably because it's not in a very perfect mood as well. Somebody actually said something to me.
How is it?
And I don't remember what it said. It's something bad lah, you know. Hey, you should say this, like that. Hey, how come your announcement?
Right.
I literally hand him the microphone. You do lah.
Okay.
But also, I was not in a good mood lah.
But you see, when you say stuff like that, you feel like, oh, maybe I should not have said that. Do you think that?
And now I don't regret it lah, but but I've said it. I've said okay lah. I mean, it's okay if somehow
you think back at it.
Yeah, somehow that person is now watching the video, which I highly doubt it. But yeah, I apologize lah.
I think I'm very chill
but
like that.
Sometimes your emotion just runs you over.
Definitely, of course, you feel angry and sad and all that. But I try to remember, no good comes from expressing anger actually. Maybe people know how you feel, that's about it. Then how does it solve your problem? Maybe you might have hurt someone in the process also.
It helps Incredible Hulk.
No, he just bashes everything, maybe kill a few people in the process. I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay. Yeah. It's a joke. Okay. Oh, it's good if you are, a kind of
I'm
an
very
easy
patient,
person, and it's a very light person. People say, then just laugh it off and.
Yeah, I get pissed all the time. I'm very impatient, but I just don't.
To your team, maybe?
Sometimes, yes. But again, you have to understand. I also try to put myself in their shoes. They think like that because, and then sometimes, of course, it doesn't make sense at all, even if you are that person. Then you have to remember, okay, maybe they're young. Maybe some time ago, I was like that too. Maybe I could try to bring them back to the thought process. Things like that.
Wow. Okay.
Like too empathetic, weakness.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I do not know whether your staff is going to come across this or not, but what is your comment on working with young'uns nowadays?
I think what they want is very different now from their attitude towards things is a bit different from us, or even from our parents. We from our parents are already very different. We change job every 3 years, 5 years. Our parents stay at one company for 20, 30 years, right? Okay. So younger, you can imagine they are like 10 times us maybe now. Everything is so fast for them.
But by us, you mean?
Our generation even. Okay. So maybe we are 3 years, maybe for them it's 2 years.
Okay.
And what they want is different. They want maybe more instant gratification because they're so used to it as they grow up, right? They watch iPad all the time to be happy, or they have to buy a nice drink so that they feel happy in a while. So their gratification has to get shorter and shorter. Whereas we still have a bit of pain. Our parents always suffer first, enjoy later, do your homework, then only can do this. So I think it's trying to understand them a little bit, but also I feel like having to bring some of the old people values back into their lives would help, because there is a reason why things were run a certain way during our parents' time. I feel like discipline and all that.
So now as you tell your younger employees, then you suddenly like, oh shoot, I just sounded like my mother. Yeah. Have it ever happened to you?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You need it for structure.
Okay.
You need to wake up at certain time to finish your work by a certain time because it helps. It just puts everything in place. Imagine you only work 2 hours a day, how much are you going to earn? Compared to if you put a bit more time into it.
Yeah.
In that logic.
Yeah.
So, depends person to person. Some people still have a quite good attitude, quite understandable, very open-minded, reasonable.
So again, your approach is still the same way, but you still take it as they are not difficult, they are just different.
Definitely difficult, but different and difficult.
Okay. So younger nowadays, you do agree that they are more difficult?
I won't say that also.
They are more complicated.
I think people are just difficult in general.
Yes, people are difficult in general. But
in general.
But because now how many young'uns you have in your team? They are youngsters.
Maybe about 5.
5
4
of them.
Or 5, yeah, quite young.
25 and below. 23.
Below 23 even.
Below 23.
Below 25, below 23 or so.
Then do you have like difficult like time when you like tell them to do stuff and whatnot?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
You have to talk to them, remind them. Yeah, definitely sometimes. They maybe don't like me, I also don't like them. Not like we don't like each other, it's more like they don't agree with what I think.
Okay.
I don't agree with their logic.
Okay.
So sometimes I have to talk to them so that we get back on the same page.
Okay.
Little things I'm also trying to learn, actually. Managing people is something I'm trying to learn.
Okay, because we were just talking about this during dinner time just now.
Okay.
Why don't you hire... I'm going to provide this solution to almost everybody. Why don't you hire a HR person and let the HR person deal with all this, and you deal with one HR person?
A few things to consider, where you're going to find a really good, experienced, qualified HR person. Second, can you afford that person? Those are your two considerations.
You're a slightly bigger team now. Can't you get a HR person?
You could, but is it worth your headcount or not? Companies have a lot of expenses.
But does it worth your stress or not?
I think stress comes with business.
So you measure it lah. So you think that the stress plus the...
No matter what, it's cash flow, right? If you don't have profit, don't have cash flow, what's the point of getting a HR person? You cannot even keep the team together. So there are a lot of considerations, I think, when it comes to business.
Okay. Something that I actually never really faced. So I do not know because it's actually quite new. We were just talking about it, and the team actually have to like deal with young'uns, and they mentioned about how young'uns think, act.
Okay. A bit different, yes.
A bit different.
Yeah, so sometimes we think that we are hiring somebody to solve a problem for us, right? But sometimes some problems, if they realize that they are causing the extra cost, if I have to pay 5K for a new HR person, I'm taking out potential for your increment next year, for a 300, 500 increment next year or something.
Okay.
So wouldn't you rather want to discipline yourself so I don't have to spend that money on someone else and give you more bonus? Sometimes they don't see that logic,
Oh, okay.
And disciplined people don't need to be managed. If you only need a HR person when everybody is a bit lost. Or if there's such a big team. I feel
it's such a big team. Yeah. I mean, like, if you are coming to 200-300 people, then probably HR is a good idea.
Well, I don't mind a HR person if I can afford to be honest.
I feel proud of myself because I keep on putting this idea into everybody's head. But don't hire me. I'm not a HR person. I don't deal well with. Okay, how do you stay motivated and inspired in your line of work? Do you have something like what people call writer's block? Is there an
writer's block?
Artist block?
Creative block.
Creative block. Okay.
Yeah, I think every creative person will have that block.
Okay.
Ask for help, scroll YouTube, Pinterest.
Okay.
There are a lot of resources out there.
Okay.
But I think what really helps is travel or going to a museum. That's at least my feel.
Oh, okay.
Seeing new things always give you, whoa, I could try this.
Oh, okay. Museums. The interest for the both of us, me and my partner.
Oh.
Yeah. Then we're gonna bring this up again. Have you been to the Death Museum in Thailand?
No.
I keep on mentioning this to a lot of people who say they like museum.
Probably not.
No?
I go to art museums. Not
Oh, you go to art museum. Okay, that makes sense. Why would an artist go to the Death Museum? Because the Death Museum, actually, even I went to the person who designed our museum, the Borneo Cultural Museum, because the guy was still here, the one who designed the museum, he was still here during the launching. I went to him and asked him, have you been to the Death Museum in Thailand? So yeah, apparently he had never been to. But the one that we've been to, it's not people who kill people, it's just donated bodies.
Oh.
Because it's in a hospital. It's near a hospital and there's a museum. Then the museum actually started for medical students to actually go and study. Like, for example, if they're like, oh, in this question, or this how if you cut your liver, how does it look like? Then they go to the museum and there is one freaky but actual look of it is actually, they actually slice human into pieces and put it into frame. So you can actually flip, it's like pages, but it's human body.
I don't enjoy gory stuff,
okay.
100% won't go in there.
Yeah, the both of us, we were like, let's go! But when the moment we stepped in and we spent quite a time a bit, then when we come out, the both of us like, I feel like I want to vomit. I think...
Why go in there in the first place?
Because we love museum. we're like, let's go to every museum.
Right.
Like art museum or, whatever museum lah. Then it's like, death museum, we should go. Then, but once in a lifetime lah. Because after that, we came out, we're like, we are dizzy, want to vomit. I do not know what's happening. But
Trigger your disgust.
yeah, but yeah, there's an actual person inside there. There's a lot of actual person inside. Okay, so for you, it's go to museum, travel.
To get inspired.
To get inspired.
Go in nature, take a walk.
Where?
Go to a beach, go a hike, I don't know, anyway. Just change environment, I feel. Oh, last time when I used to work, I also cannot really sit in my house to work all the time. I need to go to a cafe. Sometimes when I have an office also, sometimes I go to a cafe. So different environment give you different feeling, I feel.
Oh, so you just change an environment and that will get you inspired.
Yeah, kind of. But also Pinterest and YouTube helps a lot.
So do you look at other artists' work as well to get inspired?
Definitely, there's so many good stuff out there.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they're like, wow, how did they think of this? Maybe I can try something like that, but not exactly the same.
Okay. Take inspiration from other artists as well lah.
I believe everybody does.
Yeah.
In this world.
Yeah.
To be honest, nothing is really original anymore because even the artists in the old areas where there's no TV, just paintings, they also take reference from the people a long time
Where
ago.
does Michelangelo take his inspiration
He's probably
from?
I watched this YouTube channel called Great Art Explained.
Okay.
He actually talked about some artists taking inspiration from others in the far past. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even people like Michelangelo?
Maybe, yeah.
Well, we wouldn't know lah, because it's so long back.
There are studies about it. I cannot remember which artist, might have been Michelangelo also, but yeah, they do take reference.
Okay.
A lot of famous paintings. Yeah.
I bet you have seen this also. They were talking about this sculpture whereby it was done by Michelangelo, where he actually carved out the actual muscle of that statue. Have you seen this picture before?
No.
No?
I don't think.
So he does a lot of, what do you call it? Sculpting?
Yeah.
Stone sculpting, right? So he actually sculpted this person's hand according to actual human body structure.
Cool.
So that person was actually, the statue actually was holding something. So actual human, when you have that kind of body and actually you're holding something, your muscle shows that way.
Yeah.
So he actually did that.
Yeah.
But with a stone.
Yeah. Very sick.
So yeah, it's very sick. And
Yeah.
I somehow think that probably they got inspiration from Alien. What do you think?
Well, I don't know, but what I know is that if it's something realistic, they probably refer to something real.
Yeah, but then to carve it in a stone. Okay.
Takes a lot of patience.
Do you still know somebody, artist today that still does that?
To carve?
Yeah.
Well, not in Malaysia lah.
Not in Malaysia,
Yeah,
but other
yeah.
countries they still do.
I think they still do.
They still do?
Yeah.
Because I've never seen though.
Yeah. Go look up modernmat.net or .com. Yeah. They do share this kind of.
Oh, okay. I mean, like if wood, yes, because stone is such a hard thing to carve.
Possible, but it takes a long time maybe. Different type of skill set lah. Yeah, but it's amazing lah.
Yeah,
I think we're amazed by how real they can make things.
Yeah.
Even like a realistic portrait, like really, really hyper realistic.
Yeah.
We're like,
yeah.
but you don't know how many hours they put into it.
Right,
So,
right.
like humans lah, you put your hours into it, it will happen.
Yeah. Actual fact. Okay, yeah. But I already asked, how do you stay motivated? So, okay, piece of advice to those who, not necessarily young, right? You can start old as well. So those who wanted to start and be the next you, let's say. What is the piece of advice? You're like, don't be me. Don't.
Well,
What is your piece of advice?
I love myself enough to say don't be me lah.
But for you lah, for you.
I think generally just know why you do something.
Okay.
Kind of like what I always think. If you kind of like something, then you can probably do it for a long time, and it's probably your purpose. Because if you really like something, you would spend a lot of time on it, and then you'll probably be good at it. So, and that would be your contribution to the world, because every person is unique, right? I think have patience, be kind.
Oh, there's a lot of advice.
Yeah, a lot. I'm very lost when it comes to advice. Yeah, just generally know why you do things and treat other people with respect.
Know why you have to know why you do it.
Yeah, if not, if you blindly do, you will lose motivation very fast, or you get bored and you only look at the negative if you don't know why. So when people feel uninspired, they probably forget why they're doing something. So we feel that sometimes also. We're like, oh my God, I'm drawing every day. But then you remember, oh, but you are helping people send a message or have something beautiful in their house. Then then you feel better.
But do you plant that in your own head?
Yeah.
I mean, do you tell yourself, you're like, what do you call that? You tell yourself, because another part of Daphne is telling you, why do I have to paint every day? Then the other part of Daphne is like, you do it to send a message. Do you have this?
I think people have moods lah. So I definitely have those downward spiral mood where like, this is so hard, I work so hard, why I'm only earning this much, and then why is everything against me? But then if we think like that, we just go downwards, and then once you think negatively, you don't sleep well, your mood is bad, then you perform bad at work, then it goes downwards. So instead of thinking that way, you can also think like, oh, this is so hard, but from 2 years ago, I think I've done much better. But I think I have made a lot of people a bit happier. Then you're like, okay, this is the reason for me to do what I do. Then you go back. Changing that mindset in your own head lah. Instead of thinking the negative route, try to think the positive route lah.
Okay. So if you're not an artist today, what do you think you would be?
Maybe I'll do something in fashion. I quite like I think I still like pretty things.
Still outside lah. Okay.
It's like quite naturally inclined to that direction. Definitely not mathematician or scientist. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing that just suddenly you think you can do, next day you become great. No such thing, man. Any person who became famous, look like overnight success, have been working their ass off for a long time.
Okay. I guess there's a lot of people who do not know that also lah.
I feel that they know, but they still like to imagine the beautiful romantic side of it.
Yeah, because people like to see pretty things, nicer parts of it, it's easier to you, right?
Correct.
Okay, but do you think that talents actually help?
Like they say, talent without hard work will be beaten by hard work.
That is actually my computer punya wallpaper. Hard work beats talent.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. So before we end the show, before we end this episode, what is your feel good? Disregarding whether it is about the project, about your work, or it's your personal. Can be a quote, can be an idea, can be a thought, can be what Bruce Lee said on the movie. I like that.
What makes you feel good?
What is your feel good? The feel that actually makes you, like you say just now, when you're downward spiral, then you're like, this, go back to this. Is there? It can be a lot. For me, I have a lot.
Right.
On top of your head, don't have to dig too deep on top of your head. So
I don't have a quote.
Okay, you don't have a quote.
But I think it's quite funny that the thing that frustrates you is also the thing that makes you feel good, which is people. Actually, I feel people make me feel good.
Okay. Yeah, people frustrates you, but also, at the same time, makes you feel good.
Yeah, come to think of it, why you do everything is because people you care about feel happy for you, stuff like that.
Okay. So your feel good is actually people lah.
Yeah, happy. Yeah, trying to help people be a bit happier or more positive in a way, I think.
Okay, all right.
Sounds so weird, but
no, but it's entire. I mean, it's individual, ma. Okay, all right. So, if there anything else you want to tell upcoming projects, or tell the people that to follow you on social media, where do they go and whatnot?
So Daphne Xiao's YouTube channel was my travel vlogs, my art vlogs, my art videos, time-lapse processes, just vlogs in general. And then the Stays and Spaces is purely focused on exploring hotels, Airbnbs, homes. You can see different stuff and then get to know new places and get inspired by interesting designs and stuff. Okay,
cool. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you very much to Daphne for coming into the studio. Actually quite late at night now.
Thank you very much.
Wish you all the success.
You too.
In life and whatever you do. If one day you become a fashion designer, all the best as well. And who knows? Thank you very much. This is another episode here at Feel Good. Until the next one. Ciao.